I am going to tell you 3 stories. When I was 8, I got addicted to smoking cigarettes. At 16, I danced for 20 hours at trade fair to market provisions for 800 naira under the scorching sun. At 19, I was abused at a place of worship. You see, these 3 stories sound wild, right? Well, keep them in mind, I'll come back to them. Hello, my name is Scarlet Gomez, and I'm here to talk to you about storytelling. Have you heard of the story of Bush Baby? Okay. You see, in African folklore, for those of you who haven't heard, this evil being would hide itself behind trees and cry like a baby, only to lure people and then attack and eat them. And you would not believe it. But in my boarding school, our teachers took turns hiding behind a tree, making that nonsense sound just to stop students from scaling the fence and entering town. You see, we were so terrified of that story that even if a senior had sent me on an errand at night, come on now, there was nowhere I was going to go. Just go ahead and punish me already. Look at it, yourself, look at it. If it was you, would you go? Okay. Mr. Edu and Co, wherever you are, God will judge you. See, storytelling in film and media is such a powerful tool. And although it is mainly viewed as entertainment, we can use storytelling to, one, speak up about issues and have difficult conversations. There were so many things I was curious about as a child that I wouldn't even dare ask my mom about. But you see, movies gave us the opportunity to speak about them. Like, for example, Mommy, why is that man allowed to marry 10 wives and the woman cannot marry 10 husbands? I mean, I'll tell her, don't look at me like that. It's a film, I'm just asking, you know? We can have discussions about climate change, domestic abuse, dangerous traditional practices, and so on, with the hope to drive policy and systematic changes. 2, storytelling can be used to preserve our identity and challenge negative stereotypes. You see, I grew up with some ethnic bias, like we all did. But stories like New Masquerades, Things Fall Apart, Trials of Brother Jero, they helped me overcome mine. As a child, one morning, I knocked on my neighbor's door and said, "Can I have idikaiko?" You can imagine their surprise. "Young girl, we're Igbo. Do you want Oha?" I said, "No, I want idikaiko." You see, I got that confidence and sense of belonging from the stories I consumed. I felt like I knew them. I felt like I could relate to them. We need to tell our stories before it is told by others. Only we can tell our stories in ways that celebrate and highlight our rich cultural heritage, togetherness, and history. You see, everybody else will focus on the negatives and demonize what they don't understand. But stories of poverty and backwardness and disputes are rampant when it comes to Africa. We need to fix that. 3, storytelling gives us the power and gives those without a voice power. If we tell stories that show all sides, it creates an opportunity for those who are often ignored to be seen and heard. We sometimes get too focused on numbers and only want to tell popular story that has been overflogged. This in itself is dangerous because those stories are one-sided and they don't show the entire truth. Like I said, storytelling has a bigger purpose than mere entertainment. Think about its role in culture. Listen, everything I know about Western mythical superheroes, Medusa, Zeus, Poseidon, and their personal problems. I learned against my will. The question is, where are the movies about Shango? Because I know Thor cannot step up to our Shango. You don't whine. He cannot try it. You see, the stories we tell with our films, music, and literature must show the pride we have in our history, our culture, and our identity. Stories about complex society, thriving cities, and multidimensional characters will humanize us in the eyes of the world. Shows like Wura from Showmax that explore topics we deal with every day, like gender roles, sexuality, inequality, morality, and survival. We need more stories like that. Stories told with our indigenous languages about our folklore, mythology, and our traditional practices, all told in an honest and nuanced way, because guess what? Not all our gods are evil. We need to give our diaspora a sense of identity and pride. Shout out to Mr. Samuel for my Dominican vacation. This man talked my ear off, and about what? A show that I was on 6 years ago, my flatmates. But I could tell that it was his way of connecting to home. Now let's talk about the transformation happening in Africa. Thanks to this new digital and streaming era. I remember years ago, I was booked for what I thought was going to be my first cinema epic. I was so pumped. I told myself, this is it. I am going to blow. This is my Oscar-winning role. I was so pumped that I called my husband and I said, hubby, prepare the red carpet. Everybody's going to know my name. I got on set and I was seeing cameras. I'm like, this is the camera that they used for Matrix. This is the camera that they used to shoot, Avatar and all of that. I was excited until I saw the first cut. Oh my God. They shouldn't have even bothered. Thank the Lord the film did not make it out. You see, the good news is that with the new technology and streaming era, it has never been easier to achieve filmmaking. Now we have the access to affordable gadgets and technology that can create content at a quality that can compete worldwide. Mobile phones and social media platforms, they give young creators the chance to produce and promote culturally rich, genre-defying content globally. Bypassing traditional gatekeepers, overcoming budget limitations, and creating job wealth. Also, the digital and streaming era has facilitated local and international partnerships, leading to improved funding, knowledge sharing, and global platforms that have invested in our talents and our stories, proving that we can be just as lucrative as the Western media, even when we tell our own original stories tailored to our palettes. My people, there is now an opportunity for transformation. We have all we need. We just need to embrace the threads of change happening around us, and the time is now. I have a small challenge for you today. Today, I want you to tell a Nigerian story. 30 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, one paragraph, a painting, poem, anything, with your phones, your cameras, whatever you choose. Make it about our food, our clothes, our folklores, your friends, your family, your town, anything at all, any topic. Tell it in a way that is uniquely us. Post it on your social media with the hashtag #MyThreadsOfChangeStory, and I'll look out for it. So, remember the 3 stories I started with at the beginning? Do you remember? Real life or fiction? You are never going to be sure, my dear. And that is the power of storytelling. Thank you.